You know what makes it better whenever you're working on land? It makes it better to know that the person that you're helping out is a veteran. Well, hello, my name is Brian, also known as the Land Guy, and that's exactly what we are doing today. Is we are helping out this property owner that just happens to be a veteran. This person that we're helping out is a widowed lady. Her name is Millie, and she is as sweet as corn. She is super sweet, and I've been helping her out here on her property for the last couple of years doing brush hog services. She's actually got 8 acres here on this property here where she lives. And I told her, I said, Millie, as soon as I get done with the railroad contract, I said, I'll come over here and get your property mowed down. I'm going to take you along with me as we do this. We're going to go down here and get in the cab of this thing and get some of this mowed down. You know, those folks have sacrificed their lives for the freedoms that we get to experience today. And so anytime, not only can you help out a widow lady, but if you can help out a veteran, someone who served our country faithfully, it's an awesome thing to be able to help them, especially when you love helping landowners anyway, and when they're a veteran, it just makes it that much more sweeter. So anyway, this machine is actually working out pretty good. You folks have probably been wanting an update on the Caterpillar 265 with the brush cutter, this brush hog. It's actually doing a pretty good job, as you can see. This place has a lot of stickers that's growing up through it, but there is some stumps out here that I've been able to go around. Already jumped a couple of deer back there in the back. But let's go ahead and jump in the cab here and we're going to get started. Looky there, we got Vince Gill already singing. There's one of those stumps right over there that'll sneak up on you. So this 265 handles pretty good. It is a lot of a heavier machine than what I was using with that 255 prior to the railroad jobs. And I almost, let me shut this radio down. I was almost thinking that maybe I just need to go back to the 255. It's 1,000 pound lighter than the 265, but this does handle the brush hog in the front. I never had any problems with it being tipsy in the back when I was going over some of those steep embankments and stuff. But honestly, I think that 255 would have been just fine for what I was doing. Now the brush cutter here, I guess I would probably call this more of a brush hog, and this thing's supposed to take down at least 2 to 3 inch stuff. But when you're out here working these fields and you come up on a lot of these stickers and saplings, I would rather have the open front cutter system than one of these closed fronts. I think the open front cuts a lot better, does a lot better of a job, and I think just the overall look of the project looks so much more better. But the reason I chose that closed front is because I was working around a lot of traffic, and I didn't want to have the liability of throwing a rock, which I accidentally threw some rocks. Thankfully, there was no cars. But them chains, yes, they do protect you, but that doesn't mean that a rock's not going to go through there. Up here on this far back side of their property, they got some of those saplings coming up, some of the buckbrush and stuff, which I remember last year when I was cutting this place. Last year, it was, I believe it was in the July or August time frame when I did this, and this stuff was as tall as the cab. And she reached out to me this year and said, hey Brian, can you do it a little bit sooner? And I'm glad she did, because the growth is not as tall as it was last year. You guys want to see something cool? Look at this deer. It just stood up out here in the field, and I bet you she has a young one with her. Look at that. Well, hello, dear. Oh, she does have a baby. Look at it. Well, I'm glad that little baby got up. See it right down there running. Well, that's a good deal. Oh, that's pretty neat. It's down there by that pond right now. So one of the things I've been trying out on this Cat 265 is this crawl control. If you guys see this little snail button right here, I've been playing around with it because I'm trying to get the best cut possible. Now when I was doing that other side over there, I didn't have it in crawl control. I was just basically going pretty fast, kind of like what you see here. And even though I can probably get it brush hog quicker, I found that it left a lot of stuff standing. So this crawl control is kind of like a cruise control. You can make it go quicker, you want to, or slower. And I found that this right here does the best. It looks the best. Been able to lay some nice stripes down here and don't leave up a bunch of rooster tails. And I'm sure these blades are a little bit dull as well, but it's looking like behind me it's cutting good. You see the little snail control here, so if I take it off, that's what you got. But I want to keep my speed and the cut consistent, so I just push this all the way forward. I'm in crawl control, like a cruise mode, and all I gotta do is just steer it, keep it at the right height, and it does really good. I'm kind of impressed with that. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer to do this 4-acre section, but I believe it's going to look a lot better here than what I did over there. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. That's one thing I like about the Cat, is they've got this cruise control system, and it really kind of helps you get things fine-tuned. Also in the comments, if you guys do a lot of brush hogging with a skid steer, I'd like to know what you guys got as far as in a setup. I'm pretty partial to Cat, but I've run Takeuchis with the brush cutter in the front, and I've also run the Kubotas skids with brush hogs in the front, but I find myself keep coming back to Cat. And I know that a lot of people like the Kubota due to the fact with the roll-up door and the Takis, but the ones I've been around, if you run a brand new machine, they're pretty quiet. But the older ones that I've ran, man, that door system just rattles and carries on. But this cab system with one of these doors, that's hard to beat. And yeah, you can't crawl out of it if you've got your bucket up in the air or whatever. But these new next gens on the Cats, you can actually have it raised up a little bit because of how they redesigned all of this here. You can get out of the cab without your bucket being all the way down to the bottom. But I kind of gravitate towards a door system like this rather than a roll-up one. And then when I get to the end, if I want to speed up to kind of get turned around, I just click it out of the crawl mode, get turned around here. Get lined up, but yeah, look at that. That cut looks really good down through there. Pretty impressed with it. Also, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, I would appreciate your support. Would love for you to follow along as we continue to improve properties across my area. And make sure you give us a like. This really helps support the channel and helps the algorithm and the channel grow. Alright, I think I've about got this project done, getting this 8 acres cut back. And if you're a landowner, it's super important if you can keep your property maintained by keeping a brush hog, especially if you don't have no livestock like these folks don't, and they have no interest in even cutting it for hay. A lot of times it's even hard to find people that would be willing to come out and cut, rake, and bale for such a small property as this. And it had a lot of stickers and a lot of briars, and probably not so great of grass to be able to get baled up for livestock. But anyway, let's step outside here and take a look at this. I can already tell I've got a lot of seed that was falling off what we were cutting. Yeah, this is a lot of it here. But I thought if we walk out here a little bit, we can see a little bit more better what we've been able to do. I would love to be able to get the drone up in the air, but with the wind blowing the way it is, I don't think it's too wise. I can't lose another drone. But by going a little bit slower, it seems like this field over here cut a lot more better. Looks a lot better than the one that we did over there on the other side. These folks are super happy. The landowner there has been watching out the back door there, out the back window on the progress, and she's really complimenting how it's looking, so I appreciate that. But you know, the other thing is too, working on people's property like this brings me a lot of pleasure knowing that I can help them with the upkeep, especially if they have not the ability to be able to do it. And I can come out here and love doing what I do and make a difference. That's what I truly enjoy. All right, well, I've got a little bit more trimming to do up underneath these limbs back through there. And I think we're gonna call it quits for the day. Gonna get this thing all blowed off and cleaned off. But anyway, that's pretty much a wrap on the video. I wanna thank you all for watching and tuning in, and thank you for supporting the channel. And we'll catch you in the next land video. Bye-bye.
Flat. The land guys got your back. Dirt roads, ponds, done with pride. Call him up, he's on your side. The land